Hey everyone, welcome back to our Let's Play of Legends of Eisenwald, the campaign in Early Access. Now before I begin, I want to mention a few things. First of all, I found an exploit, and here's how it goes. It's kind of funny. You see here, your main character and Berthold, they are scripted to carry over from the first scenario into the second scenario, from the first mission to the second one. So if you give them a bunch of items which you acquired in the previous, in the first scenario, they will actually stay with them in the second one. And this way you can actually gain a bunch. You can start the second scenario with a bunch of free stuff. Check it out. You can actually strip everything from Berthold. Now I think by default, Berthold, first of all, he will leave you. He will leave you in the second mission. He will not stay with you for very long. He will become independent, and he will have his own quest. He will become a standard quest giver NPC, basically. He's not going to stay in your army for long. And there's actually, you can see the symbol right above him. I think this indicates that he is not a permanent army character in your. Yeah, he's not going to stay permanently there. Anyways, so by default, I think he will drop all of his items. But this exploit will allow you to carry over a bunch of free stuff from the first mission, because in the first mission, Sightlets, one of the NPCs, he will give you a lot of money, so you can use that money to buy a bunch of stuff from the first mission in the villages in the first mission. So you can check it out. You can now have all this free stuff. And on the other hand, the flip side of this, if you used a lot of money to equip your soldiers in the first mission, you can see here we have lost all these soldiers, so that was basically a bunch of money wasted. So I thought to myself, hey, why can't I, just give my main character all of these stuff and make that money useful, right? So that's exactly what I did, and honestly I have no regrets, because guess what, this is an early access game, and when I played through this mission, I was trying to play blind apparently, and I actually did a recording. It was terrible. I get my ass kicked. This game is actually very hard, and there are 4 difficulty levels apparently: easy, normal, hard, and insane. And guess what? The normal one alone is quite difficult. So yeah, I have no regret for using this particular exploit. It might actually help us enjoy the story a little bit more. And there's a few things I want to discuss actually about this game in particular, because I did encounter a few odd issues here and there. Alright, so now we have removed all these items. I think our main character is well equipped. We're going to give him a good potion there, because apparently you can use potions outside combat, especially these healing potions. Yeah, healing potions can be used outside combat, so that's kind of useful. Although it requires a kind of odd way to use them. Anyways, first thing I noticed in this mission, yeah, first of all, I figured out how you can use mercenaries. Now, mercenaries, they will if you will recruit them, they will stay in your army, and they will not be counted among your maximum recruits. You see here, they will demand gold every day. Every time the night comes and the sun rises, yeah, they will demand gold. If you don't pay them, or if you don't have enough gold to actually pay them, they will stay in your army, but they will not fight in the next combat. So they're just there, right? You're not going to use them until you actually have enough money. Pay them, and they will participate in the next combat. Yeah. Now the recruits here, the standard recruits, these are the number of them that you can have in your army depend on how many castles you have, or how many dwellings, or something like that. I have not yet been able to figure it out, but apparently the more castles you have, I think the more recruits you can support. And these guys, you just pay for them once, and they will stay with you in the army forever. They don't cost any upkeep. So yeah, that's a unique mechanic in this game here: the mercenaries versus recruits. So yeah, in this mission we start without any castles. We don't have castle, we don't have gold income, and yeah, we're in a terrible position right now. You have to manage your gold as efficiently as possible. What I did in my previous playthrough, when I was trying to play blind, what I did was I spent a lot of gold hiring soldiers, and then I removed them from my army and I hired new ones if I found them that they were better. But it turns out that's a bad idea, because you end up in a position where you can't heal your troops, and healing troops sometimes is much more expensive than hiring new soldiers. Yeah, this is how it works apparently. You have to, sometimes if all of your army was severely damaged, you're gonna have to remove certain units and hire new ones, because they're actually cheaper than healing them. And yeah, that's a unique thing here. I think I read this part before, so I'm just going to read through this dialogue and I will continue my explanation. Anyways, Crimson Vegas von Landstein. Thank God we had no word of your arrival. We did not think to see you alive. Didn't hope to see me alive? What do you mean? Tell me quickly what has happened here. Of course, Sir Landstein, but I'm afraid you won't like it. It began soon after St. Jacob's Day, a fortnight ago. And from that very day, so anyone who has dared to enter your fortress hasn't returned, and nothing has been heard from inside, from those inside. None of your family members have been seen either. Many still held out for your eventual return, but even some of your most faithful vassals decided that there was no authority over them, and the law started breaking down. So apparently, there's been as soon as my castle was attacked, my family grounds were attacked, and as soon as the other factions here who were under our, who were supposed to be subservient to us, they all decided to become rebels. They rebelled, and now there's an all-out civil war in this region. And yes, it's a huge clusterfuck, and trust me, it's very difficult to deal with, because at this point everyone is much more powerful than you are. They all have bigger armies, and they all have castles. You have nothing. You have no gold income. You still have no army either. And Berthold is gonna leave you because he will join his faction. He will go back to his family, and you're left alone. Anyways, and even worse, there are strange folk of evil continents about. They are said to be ducal servants or Bavarian mercenary rabble hired by the Landgrave of West Rothwald. Ill leads await those upon the roads for peasants and merchants alike. So you can see here there are a few language errors, but hey, I can still understand that, so that's not a big deal. Grim news indeed, but I swear I will avert this chaos from my lands. Well, you can try. It will be wise, Sir Landstein, to ask at the outpost that stands before your castle gates. I do believe someone is waiting for you there. Now I must depart, for these storm clouds are not for my old shoulders to bear. Now Berthold is quite pissed off. Damn it, and damn it a third time. I knew we shouldn't have left Landstein, Crimson Vegas. If only we had been there when it had begun. Curses, I must hurry on to my own estates. Yes, he's gonna join his own family now. And he's telling you that you should basically gather an army, and you can get and then you should check to see if nearby villages are submitting to your lordship. You can get something from them, perhaps, not a lot, but still useful. So I wonder if we can take control of some villages. I actually tried in my previous playthrough, and it didn't work. You actually have to fight them sometimes. You have to fight these random roaming armies here. Now, on the other hand, you can actually avoid them. They will not attack you if you don't attack them, but they are hostile. You can see here. I right-click on this guy. There's a bunch of peasants and fugitives and this beggar guy here. They're not very strong, but you can't fight them on your own. Right now I only have myself. That is literally all we are. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have to hire someone, and you're gonna be assaulted by hostile forces at some point. Let's see here. We have this guy there. He's very far away. Brothers Greece. There's two of them only. I think I can take them down, but I'm not gonna take the risk. There's supposed to be some kind of soldier inside. Let's see if we can hire someone. There we are. Alright, this is our first useful guy. Unfortunately, he's a mercenary. And in this game, because we don't have a stable income, we are without a castle, I don't think hiring this guy is a good idea. He will cost you gold. He's going to cost you a lot of gold, actually. And unfortunately, the game does not show you how much gold he will demand every day. That's a bad thing. They should add this. They should make it possible to see how much gold this guy will take from you. Otherwise, I have no idea how, I need to calculate my expenses, right? I don't have stable income right now. So I'm going to ignore this guy. We have more mercenaries here, I think. Let's go towards them. We need to avoid these two. Let's see. I hope they don't attack me, because if they do, I'm probably screwed. Okay, they're not going to attack me. Good. We're going to stay out of their way. There we go. Now I'm going to speed up the game just a little bit. 2.5 is good, and we're going to enter this small village. Let's see. Adolf, do you have something to tell me? Alright. Hail to thee, Crimson Vegas. We live in hard times, but I do not give in to despair. We, the Rothschilds, spit upon cowardice and despondency. Now, I think Grau. Grau means grey in German, so Grau Shield, that's the name of his, yeah. That's the meaning of his name. Anyway. No, I swear to God, there was some kind of mercenary in there, but he disappeared for whatever reason. We're gonna have to find someone else. Let's see. There's Adolf's estate. That should be his city or whatever. Let's check his house. Okay, there's nothing there. Well, what we need to do is to find a village where we can hire troops. It's gonna be our biggest problem. Now, before, you know what? Let's take a look at the map, shall we? I saw we've seen this in the previous episode, but now I'm gonna take a closer look at this place. As you can see, it's very large. It's huge, and the way that the map works is these soldiers here, these armies, they are only visible if they are within your vision range. You cannot see. I mean, there are a bunch of armies here as well. There's a bunch of guys here down there, but they are not visible to you on the map unless they are within your natural vision range of your unit. This is us, by the way. This is our army. And I'm gonna lower the volume here. I feel it's a bit too loud. Alright, yeah. And there's a bunch of factions, apparently. I mean, there's one here, the purple-blue guys here, the purple-blue coat of arms. There's the red and yellow guys. These are actually friendly. These are the only ones who are currently being peaceful. They're neutral, but they're not participating in all the nonsense on the other side. Yeah, so the West Bank is our target, and we need to get there. This is our mission objective, the Lahnstein Castle. This is my family home, apparently, my main character's family home. And the mountain gates, as you can see by the shield, the coat of arms here, the black and white coat of arms usually indicates a rogue faction, like a bunch of guys who are not civilized or, you know, not allied with anyone. They're just invaders, right? Usually they are like mercenaries and stuff like that, or a bunch of neutral, unnecessary factions. Yeah, there's a bunch of wealthy guys down here in Quelberg. There's these guys who own coal mines. Yeah, there's a lot of factions, and we're gonna be forced into a war with at least 2 of them or something like that, as indicated by the quests. And we haven't seen the quest, actually. Let's take a look. Something unusual is happening with your ancestor castle. There is no news, and nobody has been seen leaving it. Your family is missing. You have to learn what happened and get into the castle. Visit the outpost at the castle gates first. Alright, we're gonna do that. Strife. Your vassals from the East Bank are at war. You have to find a way to stop. This is the East Bank, by the way. Yeah, these guys, everyone on this side is at war. You have to find a way to stop it. To begin restoring peace, you will need to find each of them and convince them to cease hostilities. They are likely to be found in the vicinity of their castles. Yeah, so each one of them, their leaders or whatever, they're supposed to be right next to their castles here. Now, I think Lothar Home, they're supposed to be the castle of this guy we just talked to, Adolf. Yeah, Grouse Shield. Yeah, Grouse Shield. All right, so let's recruit some people there. No, so we can't recruit. Oh, there we go. No, peasants. I know this is very tempting. You might be tempted to recruit peasants, but believe me, they're not worth it. They're just absolutely horrible. And you know what? Healing these guys is much more expensive than actually hiring new ones. Believe it or not. I mean, especially if they have like sometimes you will get into combat and they will have like 2 health out of 50, for example, 2 health remaining. Healing them is going to be extremely expensive, when you can just hire new ones for 8. And you know, the hiring mechanism in this game is not very clear. Sometimes you will find new people to hire, sometimes you won't. I don't really understand how often do these new soldiers appear. Like in King's Bounty, for example, in another game called King's Bounty, the number of soldiers is stable. It will increase based on events, sometimes by events, and sometimes there will be an unlimited number of a cheap soldier. But not here, not in this case. I'm still struggling to understand how this works. So I'm gonna get the recruit because I feel like we will need this guy. Although he is kind of cheap. Yeah, he's cheap, but not very strong, actually. He has very bad defense. Yeah, his defense is actually terrible. What we need is a heavy infantry of some kind. Nevertheless, we're gonna get these 2. We desperately need something at this point. And I think we can hire people in this monastery there. Yeah, there we go. Churches are good. They're a good sign. Crimson Vegas von Lahnstein, is that really you? The Lord has hearkened to our prayers. Are you here to protect us? Protect from whom? From those evil people. Nothing is known about them except that they are evil. But it is known for sure that they are evil, and I tell you, it has been proven many times. Okay, you made your point. The gang is making for the monastery right now, and obviously not to take the monastic vows. We won't hold out without your help, Crimson Vegas. Stefan Theodorich, come here quick and stand for the monastery, together with Crimson Vegas von Lahnstein. I'm not sure if I want to help this guy, because this mission is actually not easy. Although he did give us a couple of free soldiers. Let's see. Again, you can see this icon over them, these monks. It indicates that they are temporary, so you do not want to give them any items. This is a problem with this game. If you give these guys any items, they will leave you and they will take these items with them. So maybe, I'm not sure, I haven't actually tried this, but theoretically that's what's going to happen. They're supposed to give them back to you or something. But hey, these guys are quite strong. They are like tier 3 Yeah, they're almost like tier 3 soldiers, which is good. They're well upgraded. This guy, on the other hand, is tier 1. He is the lowest of low, and we need to find him some kind of archery weapon. This guy is fighting with a boar spear. Okay, do we have any spears? No, we don't. And he can't use shields. We're gonna have to give him this. I think it's better. Yeah, it's much better. Yes, he gained some defense there. Do we want to give him some health? Actually, he has less health than my main character. Give him melee attack. There we are. Alright. Then we give him a rabbit's foot. Okay, so this is gonna be our main melee attacker, right? Okay, our character has no space for this stuff. Okay. I think we'll be fine at this point. As long as he doesn't die, we won't lose anything, right? We won't lose any of his items. So now there's supposed to be some kind of mercenaries. Yeah, there we go. These are the guys. They have 1 archer and 2 melee soldiers. Again, I ran into this problem in my previous playthrough. The enemy soldiers, they're much stronger than you, especially these heavy infantry bastards. These guys, my god, they hit really hard. And the problem is that if you right-click on them, you can see what kind of soldiers they have, but you can't see their abilities. You can't see their stats, their health points, so you can't really tell. There's not enough information to tell you how strong these guys are going to be. Now, in a casual game like King's Bounty, that would be okay, you can deal with it. But in a hardcore game like this one, this is a big problem. I can't, I want to make a decision. Do I attack these or do I not? And this decision is going to affect, whether I want to heal my troops. And, in this game, by the way, if you win a battle, you don't gain a lot of experience, you don't gain a lot of gold. This game is very stingy with its gold and experience gain. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Maybe they're trying to make their game difficult and hardcore or something like that. But again, if you win a battle, you're gonna take a lot of damage. So even if you win, you are actually losing the game, because you're still gonna spend that gold healing your troops, and it's usually gonna cost like what, 90 gold in order to heal your army. And even though you won that battle, you gained like maybe 10 experience and 7 gold, which is not useful because you need like 90 experience to level up any of your soldiers. Yeah, look at that. They all like acquire 70, 50, a lot of experience, and you don't gain enough to actually level them up. So you don't gain enough experience to level your soldiers. You don't gain enough gold to heal them regularly. You will continue to lose gold over time. So that needs to be fixed. They have to buff increase our experience gain or gold gain or something like that, because right now it's just ridiculous. And let's check it out. I don't have enough soldiers to actually fight this bastard. Okay, right now we have 5, which is fine. We do need a healer though. We haven't found one. Yeah, there's none inside. There's none of them here either. I don't really have to equip this guy because he's a ranged guy. He's not in any danger, right? We can just put him there. And we're gonna save the game. And believe me, you're gonna have to rely on saves coming in this game a lot, because you're gonna die over and over and over. You're gonna have to experiment and see what exactly works. Okay, which is not my idea of a good time. Usually most players, they would prefer not to save scum too much, but in this game it is a requirement, especially in single player. Let's check. Looks like there's a pathway through the forest. I might have to visit that at some point. Anyways, let's attack these bastards. Deserters, yeah, these guys are tough. They have a high attack, they have very high defense, much higher than any of my soldiers, even these mugs who are supposed to be like high level, tier 3 units. Oh boy, alright, so it looks like we're gonna get our asses kicked. Now, first thing I'm gonna do is... oh, we can use potions, that's nice. Transmutatio on this guy, because he's gonna be attacked soon. So it's gonna take the most damage. I think it's gonna be this dude, yeah. There we are. Another problem is that you never know when your enemies, the starting position of your enemies. It would be nice if there was an ability to rearrange the starting position of your army, because in this game in particular, positioning is very important, especially for your ranged units. If you are like 5 tiles away from a unit, you can't even attack them. And you saw there, our archer, he was unable to attack the other archer because he was being blocked by something. I don't know, maybe he was being blocked by this. Again, it's very random. It's not really stable. You can't really tell how this works. Now, I would like to defend myself somehow without attacking. Is there a way for me to defend without attacking? Well, when I was playing with Berthold, he had that ability. He had the ability to defend and not attack anyone. That would have been useful if we are facing more powerful enemies than us. But this guy, he cannot defend for some reason. Maybe because he doesn't have a shield. I don't know. Wait? Do I want to wait? I don't think so. You know what? I'll just attack. What the hell? There we are. Gonna attack with this guy. If we can finish this guy off, that would be great. Oh yes, we can kill him. Yes, lovely. Just destroy him. Now this one was buffed. This one is buffed as well. We're gonna buff. Alright. Now this guy is gonna stay with us, right? So I wanna buff him. Or maybe even the archer. Yeah, let's go with the archer. You can sacrifice these guys, it doesn't really matter. So again, for some reason we cannot attack this guy. I don't understand. There should be a tooltip displaying to you why you cannot attack the guy. Right now I can't tell. Now we can click the battle log maybe. No, there's nothing here. Yeah, so I have no idea why my archer can't attack him. Is he being blocked by these? Or is the distance too large maybe? I don't know. Yes, good. You guys take some damage. Good. I'm gonna try to attack the archer, because if we finish the archer off, the other guy will retreat probably. Yeah. There we go. Oh, he's still alive. Okay. Man, we really need a healer as soon as possible. Let's debuff him. Let's lower his defense, yes? Okay, I should have read that. It said that, he will not take any damage because he is being blocked or something. Very well. Lovely. We have a padded jacket. This will be useful. Let's see. Who can possibly equip this? Maybe I could give it to my archer, or maybe I could equip it. Can I? No. We could sell these junks, the trophies. I don't need these guys anymore. I'm not even going to bother healing them because they will leave you at some point. Let's give it to this guy. Again, this is melee defense. I would rather give him the range defense thing because he will never be attacked by melee as long as our frontline troops are alive. So yeah, this is kind of pointless on him. I would much rather give him something for ranged. Oh well. Now in my previous playthrough, I tried to buy a bunch of things from this area. And most of them were not very useful, honestly. I mean, because you will not find units that are capable of using them, right? Now the copper amulet is not bad actually. It's only 26. Plus 1 health. Oh no, plus 1 health only. I thought if that was plus 1 willpower, that would have been very useful. But right now, it's not. You can get the cloaks though. Increases defense, perhaps. Let's try the other guys. What can they equip? Now this guy has a peasant hat. Could give him the leather helm. Let's do that. You can equip the melee defense, whatever thingy, and what else? We could add some health to our archer, perhaps. That would be nice. Yeah, it's cheap. It's just 8 gold. We can afford it. He already has arrows, so I don't see what's the point of using the regular arrows or buying them if he already has them. Like, really, what's the point? Alright, so I don't think we need any of those. Let's just leave this area. Yeah, he can't equip anything else. So this guy, take some of that. And the archer gentleman, you take the health. There we are. So he has slightly more health now. It will allow him to survive a little bit more, especially if we come across these tough ranged units. So you can see here, from that battle, we took a lot of damage. Look at all this damage we took. We only gained 3 experience from that. This guy gained only 1 experience, even though he actually participated in the frontline melee combat. And our guy, he gained only 3 experience. That's bad. That's a bad thing. It means that even if you win a battle, you are still losing in the overall. You're losing resources for every battle because you are guaranteed to take damage. So they need to buff that. They need to make a way so that we will actually gain gold from every battle. And guess what? This son of a bitch inside the monastery, he's not gonna heal us. He's supposed to, like, at least heal us for free or something. He gave me ointment to heal your people's wounds. And some monastery wine. Like, thank you very much, but... Really? Give me potions? Why? Just, you know... Give me something. Free soldiers. Okay, he's gonna give me these guys. I guess. Lector. Now, here's the problem. We need to be careful. We can only hire 2 more units. So it has to be worth it. It has to be absolutely worth it, yeah. This is a problem. We're gonna have to be very careful what we hire. Now, if we keep the hunter, which we got earlier, it can be quite useful, actually. Or we could get this guy who will buff our characters. This is a high-level character, I think. He is fairly strong. He has a decent attack, but his defense is just dreadful. And furthermore, he could only equip light armor, so he's going to be competing with this guy for the light armor stuff. And right now we don't have enough. So you know what, I'm actually going to postpone this. And I'm going to see if there's another place where we can hire soldiers. Let's see. The Underwood, let's check it out. We have a total peasant, a loser. Not very useful. Oh, there's someone in there. Lungwort. Alright, we have our first healer. Thank God. This one's going to be very useful. So now we have 1 more soldier we can hire. We're going to have to make a very careful choice here. Most likely going to be a melee unit of some kind. Because right now we don't have any. We only have 1, actually. We have this gentleman, the young noble. Okay, he has a strong attack. Very strong attack, actually. And he's going to compete for light armor, unfortunately. And he actually comes with this, the leather armor. And the sword. Maybe he can equip our Damask sword. That would be cool. So he is not heavy infantry. He is super expensive. But he comes with higher than average stats, I suppose. We could take this guy. Yeah, let's take him. And yes, he can equip the Damask sword. Lovely. His current sword, +3 initiative, +1 melee attack. This one is +4 initiative, +3 melee attacks. So yes, you're definitely taking that. Unfortunately, he cannot equip the shield, which is stupid. Our healer lady, she's gonna take the spiritual power buff. There we are. And now we have... This is basically our army. Now, the game expects me to actually win with this small, pathetic army here. All of them level 1 units. Nothing special about them, and they will not gain a lot of experience. They're gonna gain like maybe 2 or 3 experience every battle. And somehow we are expected to win the game using these pathetic fools. And apparently this guy can actually level up. Trust me, you will never see him level up. You will never see him reach all these higher levels, because he requires 180 XP. It's ridiculously high, and if there's any way for me to actually increase my experience gain using quests and stuff like that, would be great, but quests usually don't give you that much. So either way, we're screwed. And we're pretty much going to have to rely on pure numbers. So now apparently we have a quest. Let's check out our quest. Alright, visit the outpost, we know that. Vassals, you need to find one of them, each of them, and convince them to cease hostilities. Okay. Now there's supposed to be one here, even though now we are currently on the east coast. This place is empty. And there's a bunch of neutral armies over there, which are quite strong. Oh my god. Yeah, they are almost the same strength. The beggars, though, we can probably kill the beggars. These guys are pathetic. They can be easily killed. But the others... Oh, boy. Arnulf's estate. What's this? It's empty. Okay. Herman Craig. We can actually talk to this guy. One of the younger brothers of Berthold and Kurt Craig is a soul of any company and can't live a single day without a good feast of hunt. So apparently he is Berthold's brother, which is interesting. In the thick of pursuing the game, he can spend several days on his horse, and his merry drinking bouts with friends are famous in the whole area. So this sounds like a friendly gentleman. Let's talk to him, shall we? What do I see? Crimson Vegas for Landstein. Or Landstein, yeah. Safe and quite sound. Shall we make a great feast in Kraighausen to celebrate our meeting as in the good old times? Forgive me, Herman, but unfortunately I have no time for feasts and games. Yeah, seriously, dude, just, you know, get with the times. Times of discord and unrest have come to my lands. As you wish, Crimson Vegas, but listen, unrest is everywhere now. You never know when you might leave this world. Tomorrow morning or at sunset today. At least you could eat and drink well before you go. My father used to have a friend, Clement from Quelbert. Now then, Lucius, Clement's son, shot down such a huge hog you won't come across in Rotawald woods. The meat is quite tough, I suppose, but it will go down well with Saxon wine. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, he's just talking about nostalgic stuff, whatever. You know, just leave him alone. He is not very serious, is he? Kurt Craig. Kurt is the older Berthold's stepbrother, or they should have said like he is Berthold's older stepbrother. They have the same father, or maybe Berthold is the older one among them. I don't know. Yeah, this is what it implies, I suppose. They have the same father but different mothers. Maybe that's why he and Berthold have such different natures. You never quite liked Kurt, as well as he didn't like you. And I don't like the fact that he has an outrageously powerful army. All of his units are super upgraded, and we will never reach his level. Based on if my previous playthrough is to be believed, I had an extremely hard time, keeping my troops alive, let alone leveling them up or even upgrading them. It was just ridiculous. Anyways, I think we're supposed to move this way. Now we have a lake village there, which is nice. Now, it would be nice if we get some free equipment for this guy. We need to equip him as fast as possible. Currently his equipment is bad. Yeah. Not good at all. On the other hand, what we can do is we can give him one of these amulets. Let's see. Melee defense? Yeah, we'll give him some melee defense. Why not? Can he use it? Yes, yes. So now he has 10 melee defense, which is good. Or we can give him that. Alright, so now they're a little bit more balanced, I suppose. Yeah, much better. They're both equally pathetic, don't get me wrong, these melee characters, but hey, it's better than nothing, I suppose. Let's go to Old Lothar's. What do we have here? A few groups of villagers and travelers are chatting to one another. One of them raises a mug of some unknown liquid, and you can see here these are the placeholders, because this game is still in early access, so there are still some things that are not fully fleshed out. You can see these placeholders there. Yeah. They're still writing down the dialogue. Recently, Herman from Kraighausen went on a hunt and lost 2 greyhounds pursuing a bear. He never caught it in the end. They say the beast is at least 10 feet. So I think he was, yeah, Herman was talking about it. So apparently he was telling the truth, actually. And you still send children to the forest to set those fouling nets. Now here's something interesting. The game gives you a lot of dialogue. You can listen to the rumors being talked about by these peasants, these village people, but nearly 80% of all these things, they're not really useful. And then they talk about this Smiter. Who is he? People talk of him in whispers. I can get no straightforward from anyone. And yeah, he will open up like these stories. You can read these stories if you want, but they are not related to any quests. They're quite interesting. For example, this one tells about like an ancient legend, a giant man. He made a deal with the devil or something, or some kind of sorcerer. He gave him his arm, and the sorcerer gave him incredible strength in order to climb this mountain, and now he is the leader of the mountain or something. Yeah, so and apparently this was based on because he was told that he should marry a girl or something. The girl didn't want to marry him, and he had to prove himself, and whatever, something like that. Anyways, you want to feel free to pause the game and read it. It's quite fun, I suppose, if it was a novel or a full story, or maybe it is something from actual German folklore. But I know nothing about this stuff, and I don't really care, because it has nothing to do with the game. It has nothing to do with the challenge, I suppose. It doesn't even add anything to the universe, because as far as I know, this is basically just happening in Germany, in a more fantasy world, like low fantasy version of Germany, or Europe. So the poor woman had to marry the hangman. Yes, whatever. This is another tale entirely. This is an old monk. Yeah, so when I play RPG games, usually when I talk to people, I would expect a little bit of dialogue, a humble amount of dialogue that will immerse you in the universe. But here, we're just getting a bunch of static, like it's a bunch of stuff that is not very related to the universe. It doesn't help you in the quest, it doesn't give you any more information about side quests, for example. That would have been great. You know, if there was a side quest for all this dialogue that we get, all this gossip, all these things we can read about, that would have been amazing, but we don't get that. Like, for example, there's a story about the Venetian mirror. It is said that those mirrors are the best in the world. You women know better. There's no whatever. Yeah, again, I don't care about this stuff. If I'm not gonna get this mirror, if this stuff is not gonna help me in a quest, why would I care? Yeah, so much text, so much stuff you gotta read. This one is talking about Faust. I'm not sure if this was based on the story about Faust. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's the same thing. I haven't read that story, to be honest. That play. Alright, this one is actually relevant. Have you heard of Gunther Reike from Frosch? A local libertine. He sleeps with his own sister, didn't you know? You women are always making up tales, especially when you have nothing better to do. But it is the absolute truth. I was told by their cook. It is difficult to hide such things. He forces her to sleep with him. Ah, I would run away from such a life or simply hang myself. So you can see this game actually has some mature themes. Incest, for example, and we've seen this in Game of Thrones, but hey, this time it's in our game. We're gonna have to deal with an incestuous relationship. Well, rich people are always like that. Libertines, drunkards, or thugs. I think libertine means like a playboy type of character or something. Yeah, maybe that's what he is, that dude. Now she notices that I am next to her, and she just said something nasty about rich people. But I cannot say anything bad of the Landsteins. They were always respected by their servants. I haven't ever heard anything bad of them, ever. Well, good. I mean, you managed to keep face there. More stupid mercenaries. Now, why would I hire this guy? Actually... Okay, yeah, he can only use light armor and he has terrible stats. So yeah, why would I hire him, really? Unless it was an emergency and I needed a quick boost. Now the problem with these guys is that they appear randomly. You never know when exactly they're gonna appear. I mean, I know this. They were maybe trying to make the game a little bit more difficult, a little bit more realistic. That soldiers, they don't always stay in the same place. But again, if you're trying to go, are you trying to create a simulation or are you trying to create a game? If you're trying to create a game, then you need to give the player information. You need to keep certain constants in the game. Too many variables, the game becomes too chaotic, too difficult to predict, and it becomes a game of luck, basically. It becomes a game of RNG, random number generators, and there's chaos. Like these guys, they don't always appear here. Sometimes they appear here, sometimes they will find them somewhere else, and sometimes you'll find a completely different kind of soldier instead. I mean, in my previous playthrough, that was the case. So yeah, that's just really strange. And I really can't tell yet if we actually need those guys. Maybe we should just hire them and get them killed somehow. Yeah, I might actually do that. I don't want to keep them employed in my army for too long. We could use them like to raid someone or whatever. But first, we're gonna check out the mountain gates.